Hello, everyone. It's another Tuesday, and we are back with 5 recommendations so you can find your next read. In celebration of the United Nations World Day of Social Justice this Saturday, 20th February, we bring you the report of the ILO's Director General presented to the 14th African Regional Meeting in 2019. The report, titled Advancing Social Justice, Shaping the Future of Work in Africa, charts ILO's course towards the future of work with social justice in the region and provides an assessment of the progress made in achieving decent work under the implementation of the Addis Ababa Declaration. The report puts forward 3 priorities for advancing decent work and social justice in Africa, which are: number 1, promoting sustained and inclusive sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. 2, strengthening the institutions of work. And finally, strengthening the capacities of people. Our next recommendation is UNESCO's Africa Regional Report, published in January this year, that looks at progress towards Sustainable Development Goal 4 for education and the African Union's Continental Education Strategy for Africa, CESA. On pages 12 and 13 is a comparison of the 12 strategic objectives of the CESA and SDG 4 targets, which found 9 out of the 12 strategic objectives of CESA connected to SDG 4 targets. The rest of the report goes ahead to detail the progress made in each of the 9 CESA strategic objectives, providing data sets at country level where available. On the African Continental Free Trade Area, our next recommendation is an exploration of the conditions for success in the implementation of the AfCFTA. The report moves away from focusing on the benefits of the AfCFTA, but looks theoretically at what happens when countries change patterns of trade and tariffs, the costs and benefits of trade, and the winners and losers in trade liberalization. In presenting the conditions for success, the report looks at 2 dimensions. One, which is the ability, capacity, and political will of African countries to implement the AfCFTA, and second, maintaining and realizing the potential of the agreement. Its modeling of the future of trade in Africa also provides alternative scenarios to mitigating the cost of engaging in the AfCFTA. As implementation of the AfCFTA continues, I find the findings in this reference report should be considered by all those involved in the implementation of the AfCFTA. Up next is UNICEF's Generation 2030 report, in which the central argument is that if African nations invest in their growing population of children and young people, in particular in education and job creation, the continent as a whole could see per capita income increase up to 4-fold. The executive summary captures succinctly the details in the 3 chapters of the report that examine child demographics in Africa, a gap analysis of Africa's social systems, and policy actions for investing in Africa's children. Finally, on our list this week is UNDP and ILO's assessment of social protection schemes in Africa as it relates to the informal sector and the urgency for immediate and long-term protection in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Published this year, the report contains case studies of progress made by governments to protect informal workers as well as the challenges. Key recommendations of the report include: 1. More attention must be paid to financing solutions that move beyond vulnerable informal workers financing their own social protection. 2. Contributory and non-contributory schemes must be better aligned. 3. Greater attention to gender sensitivity is required in the design of social protection schemes. Number 4, the inclusion of informal workers in social dialogue, scheme design, and oversight should be prioritized. And finally, at 5, social protection approaches to informality need to consider combined economic empowerment measures that go beyond benefits attached to social insurance. That is all the recommendations we have for you this week. As usual, links to all the reports are in the notes. Until next week, stay safe, everyone. Bye.